What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this video here, we're going to be taking Captain Marvel in against Warboss Legends. We're going to be trying her out against Knull and Mephisto, and I haven't really played around with her, or made any videos with her since getting this uniform. I think I just did like the initial video of, reviewing the uniform when it first came out, but not really anything after that, and this uniform does give her a decent change. It's not a huge damage buff, but it is a bit of a damage buff. So you know what? We're going to be doing this video here. Well, I was going to make this video regardless for Captain Marvel here because I haven't really made I made a Knull video, but I didn't make a Mephisto video. So anyway, let's just get into it. That's enough waffling on here. So we have a uniform at Mythic here. And then if we go over here, we've got some Urus on her. We've got 2 Odin's Blessings there, so nothing too crazy. I've got all of her skills fully leveled up. For our Ice Await set, we have a fully awakened Power of Angry Hulk, so stage 12. And we still are rocking that CTP of Rage. I've had the CTP of Rage on her for a very long time, pretty much since I tier 3'd her, if I remember correctly. I believe I gave it to her then. Actually, I gave it to her before I tier 3'd her, didn't I? Because she was a beast even back then. But anyway, that's what she's rocking. We already showed that. Here are her details. If you're curious, we're maxed out on our crit rate and dodge because, of course, CTP of Rage. And then we've got our ignore defense, go cooldown, the next important things there maxed out. And what's nice about this uniform, even though she changed to a supervillain, she still has the leadership tag. So we will be taking advantage of that today. So let's hop over to our first fight, which is going to be Knull. And again, timestamps in the comment or description. What am I saying here? I'm trying to think of something else. The description below for when the fight will start against Mephisto if you wanted to skip to that. But we're moving over to Knull right now, so let's get into that. Alright, so here we are at stage 2 for Knull, like I take all my characters into for the first fights here, or for these videos. And this is the team I decided to go with. So we have Medusa there because her leadership is a little bit better than Captain Marvel's because I see 30%, 45%. And then we have White Fox here, my newest tier 3, because as I mentioned earlier, she has leadership, so we can take advantage of White Fox. And I've actually used all my other supports, so that works out perfect. And I didn't really want to try to use a double support here and kind of waste 2 supports. So for these videos, I like to show leadership and a single support, even if the character is capable of having more than 1 support. And for White Fox here, I did actually change her her obelisk to a CTP, so she now has a CTP of Insight, so we do have that as well. So keep that in mind. We have CTP of Insight, and we've got that leadership going on. For this set of strikers, we are going to be using only 2 dodge ignore strikers, and we switched out the 3rd dodge ignore striker for a healer because Captain Marvel here still has no healing, so she actually is going to need the healing globs from Venom there. So let's just hop in and get some damage going here. Get knocked back. One of my least favorite things about this fight here for characters that don't have super armor. No, actually she does have super armor. For invincibility, excuse me. And that damage is looking pretty dang good so far. I don't think we've needed to take any of those healing globs quite yet. But don't worry, that'll be coming up shortly. Let's go ahead and... oh, I used that a little too soon because you can use that to avoid getting snared up here. But yeah, I was a little too early on that one. Wasn't really paying attention. But that's fine. We're kind of just showing off Captain Marvel's damage here to see how well she can actually do this. And yeah, so far, so good. So even without that massive buff on the previous 5th skill where it kind of changes around her animation, just gives her like that Super Saiyan mode, she still is great even with the buff that we're getting here. That's just a, standard buff, doesn't really change anything else around. And I still don't know if I'm really using the most optimal skill rotation for her. It's just you can't really cancel the 5th skill and like combine it with anything, so that's why I try to just cancel out the 5th skill because it seems to do less damage than the 4th skill and less damage than the 3rd skill. So I don't really want to be wasting my rage activation during the 5th skill, but let me know if there's a better skill rotation for her that I should be taking advantage of with this uniform. But as of right now, I just try to get that buff from the 5th skill. I want that buff from the 2nd skill as well, which we missed there because we got guard broken. And she's getting guard broken a lot for heavy super armor. It's like not all super armor is created equally, because I swear I've had characters that just have super armor and no invincibility, and they don't get guard broken nearly as much. As we're getting guard broken here, whoops, I should not have done that. We need to switch characters or else we're gonna die. Ah, no, we're gonna die anyway. They have like really good tracking that time. We didn't quite push him to where we wanted to push him. Alright, so there we go, that's done. So now we want him to go over here. We want to use these to get the buffs, and then we use that, and then we go in here for the ignore iframe and hopefully push him. Oh, we didn't push him, we need to switch. What happened to our damage? I think our rage just turned off right there. So damage is not great compared to some of my recent characters I've been trying out, but again, Captain Marvel is a pretty old character now, and with this uniform, they didn't really change much for her. And did my phone just crash? No, okay. They didn't really... What is going on with my phone here? Is it overheating? Whoa! I've not had this happen before. My phone is like having a stroke. What is going on? Are you fixed? And now we should, yeah, we can't really do anything here. So we can't go in there because she doesn't have the invincibility. Super armor is not quite enough for that. We need the combo of super armor and invincibility to get taken care of that. And I have no idea why my phone is acting up here. Is it just overheating? Maybe. Oh, we're doing a lot less damage here than I was expecting. But we still got through with 1 minute and 39 seconds left. So a bit on the slower side compared to some of the other characters I've been using recently. And she did have kind of the same setup, just the leadership and support. So I don't know, overall her damage has kind of fallen off a bit, hasn't it, since her heyday, but it's still usable. As you can see here, she was able to clear Knull stage 2. She had comfortable time. Would have liked to have been a little bit quicker there, because was she like 30 seconds behind what War Machine was doing. So let's go ahead and give her like a 6.5 for damage. I would say like 6.5 out of 10, because it's just not great. It hasn't really been keeping up with the times, and this is with a CTP of Rage, so we need to keep that into consideration as well. And then if we go for her survivability, again, her survivability is just not great because she has no healing and she doesn't have any damage immunity. We're relying basically on iframes as her sole source of avoiding damage. So that's why we did need to use a a healing striker here. I mean, of course, if you play well, you know the boss's attack pattern, you can dodge the attacks, you can time your skills to use your iframes a little more, you know, planned, so you can get away with maybe not using a healing striker and still do fine with her. But for the most part, since she doesn't have any built-in survivability, that's why we're going to give her a pretty low score here, which is probably just going to be like a 3, because she needs the healing. So like a 3 for survivability. No, let's give her a 4. She has multiple iframes. We'll give her a 4 for survivability just because she has a pretty good amount of iframes, and of course the skills that you want to be using during your rage activation are in iframes. So yeah, she's got those things going for her. And then if we move on to the ease of play, I mean, if you're using a rage on her, she's easy to play just because you're just spamming skills. You just want to, you know, use every skill basically except for the first skill, but you're going to be canceling out everything except for the 4th and the 3rd, unless there's a better rotation. Like I said, let me know in the comments below if I'm missing something here for this Captain Marvel, but I pretty much just try to cancel 2 and 5 to get the buffs and then move on to 4 and 3 as my DPS skills. So yeah, that's going to be Knull here. So now let's go ahead and move over to Mephisto and see how she does over there. Alright, so here we are at Mephisto, stage 2. We're doing the exact same team. We got Medusa and White Fox here. We're going to be using slightly different strikers. We're going with pretty much all just DPS strikers here, and then we still need our Venom there for the healing. So that one is definitely non-negotiable. Hopefully she has enough movement speed. I didn't really think about that till right now. She might need some movement speed strikers, but we'll see. She's decently quick, so hopefully she'll outrun Mephisto and his fire vortexes. Alright, so let's see what kind of damage we can do here. Which one is the... What's the first one there? Okay. Let's get this going. Hopefully we're going to be doing a decent amount of damage here, because she did pretty well against Knull, so I was happy with that. Maybe I should have just used the tier 3. Yeah, I should have used the tier 3. Alright, well hopefully we can just get him right after this rotation here. I think she's moving quick enough. A bit slow, but I think we should get this. Or that we should have speed. Okay, yeah, so we just barely didn't trigger him. Alright, so that's good because that means that she definitely has enough damage to do the Mephisto fight here. Alright, come on, let's get this going. Whoops, I didn't wait for the meteor to hit the ground. We're gonna get stunned here. But since we have all those healing globs on the ground, and since with her passive here we amplify how much healing we get, I don't really need to worry about taking damage here because I can heal it up with just a couple globs. And we'll be back up to full health. Ooh, okay, that was close, but yeah, I think she's got enough speed here. You don't need any movement speed strikers with her, so that's pretty cool. Right, let's get this going. It's at 12. Oh no, it's 14 bars that he goes into the phase change. All right. All right, do your blast so I can get behind you. Whoa, there we go. I want to use the tier 3. This time let's wait for the meteor. We need to go grab some healing globs over here in a second. Not that low, but there we go. One healing glob and we're topped up. So we're not quite going to get to him before we have to do this again. Come on, explode. Thank you. Ooh, yeah. Maybe one movement speed striker would be nice, so I don't have to cut it so close there, but he's doing good enough. Alright, come on. Proc rage. There we go. Alright, so 2.5 minutes left. So we're looking good here. We're looking good. Let's get our buffs going, get our tier 3 going. He's going to be doing his purple attack now. Oh, not quite. Alright, so far so good. Oh, he did the phase change right when his rage meter filled up. That's interesting. We're gonna get stunned. Come on, shake it off. Whoa! Nope, you got me again. I really, really hate this part. If you get stunned once, he just almost always hits you like a second time. And then there's a very high chance that he just pretty much just stun locks you into oblivion, which is super frustrating. But we're about to get the clear here. Come on. Go, Rage, go. Yes. All right, so 1 minute and 20 seconds left. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with Captain Marvel's performance here, considering she hasn't really gotten much of a rework since her like initial uniform that just made her super good, because all the uniforms after that since was it just Endgame? No, Infinity War. When did you get the first uniform? Or was it her movie no, whenever it is, whenever she got that uniform, they haven't really changed the skills much. There's been just very, very small tweaks in like the skill animations, but still plays very similarly, and her damage is still holding up now. I mean, we are using a 60% support here with White Fox, so that's probably helping her out. We do have a CTP of Rage, but she kind of needs a CTP of Rage to be able to do any damage. So Captain Marvel, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how she performed here. If we can pull her up. Where are you, Captain Marvel? There you are. So yeah, Captain Marvel, the Last Avenger. Like I said, I haven't really done much with this particular uniform. I was mainly just got our movie uniform. So we have Endgame uniform. Yeah, because these uniforms right here, very, very similar. And then again, this uniform, very similar. We just get a very small like damage buff each time. But yeah, she's still able to hold her own in War Boss Legends, so I'm happy with that. Maybe I'll test her out a little bit more, see if I can push her to a higher stage, see if I can upgrade my cards a little bit. Maybe now that we just added this artifact thing, maybe I'll try to check that out. But there's probably other characters higher up on my list that I feel like trying out the artifacts on before her. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Oh, I didn't give her a rating, did I? Alright, so the rating for Mephisto, let's see. Again, start off with the damage there. Damage is still probably a 7. As you saw, we had time to spare, so compared to some of the other characters that I've been doing, I'd still say she stacks up pretty well in terms of my roster that I have going on here. For the survivability, still, again, with the healing, you know, from the striker from Venom there, her survivability is definitely way up there because she amplifies the healing that she gets. But just on her own, in terms of survivability, if you don't have a healer, it's pretty low, so probably like a 4 for survivability without a healer. But again, if you have the healing striker, even Groot works fine. She like jumps up to like a, you know, like a 7 or 8 because that healing is very, very powerful for her because of the amplification. And then for ease of play, I mean, she needs a CTP of Rage, so you have to keep that in mind. But if you have a CTP of Rage, I mean, the skill rotation is really easy. You kind of just get the buffs off the 5 and 2, and then you just do 4 and 3 when your Rage is active. So she's pretty dang easy to play, so probably like an 8 on ease of play. So that'll be my ratings here for Captain Marvel. Hopefully you enjoyed, like I said, and let me know if you like the rating system, if you want me to keep doing these kind of videos here with both Knull and Mephisto in it. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.